this is Chek, and welcome back to my video blog today. Today I thought I'd share just a neat little concept and a way of looking at life both from the perspective of individuality and unity. I was inspired to share this with you by reading The Art Spirit by Henri in my sauna last night, and this book, by the way, is full of amazing life insights. Though it's really about art and all things related to art, the book's much, much deeper than that. The art spirit is something that lives in all of us. Henri makes a very beautiful statement that I want to share with you today under the topic of express your individuality. Henri beautifully and rightly says the following: it seems that before a man tries to express anything to the world, he must recognize himself as an individual, a new one, very distinct from others. That is a beautiful statement. Now, the art spirit is really about art, and whenever we're doing art, it's a great opportunity to express our unique individuality. You could go to a place like the army where everyone's wearing the same uniforms, the same haircuts, carrying the same guns and the same tools, but if you sit them all down and give them a pad of paper and some colors, you will see all sorts of different things come out of those people that march in unity, yet now can express their individuality, which, by the way, can be tremendously healing in a culture that is highly locked into social programming where everyone's doing the same thing over and over again. So let's take a brief moment to look more carefully at what he's really saying. It seems that before a man tries to express anything to the world, which means what can you offer to the world that is unique, that can be a way of looking at things that's different than the way society looks at things. If we're too much like everybody else, we run into the kinds of problems that we have now, where we keep making the same mistakes over and over again with social systems, education systems, governmental systems, medical systems, drug delivery systems, etc., etc. So we must remember that, as the very wise man Albert Einstein once said, you cannot solve a problem with the same thinking that created it. We're in a highly programmed culture where people keep watching the same stuff on television and believing it, being taught the same stuff in school, and we also have all sorts of social rules and religious ideas and dogmas that essentially punish people in many ways for being different. If you are in a Christian family and all of a sudden you find a book on Buddhism and find it interesting and start talking about it, that's going to get you attacked, because you're now moving out of the matrix that is established by the concept of Christianity, which has all sorts of neat little offense and defense structures to punish you for going out of it or not staying within the confines of it. Now, that's just one example. If you work in a corporation that has very specific rules, regulations, uniforms, must-dos, have-to-dos, and all that stuff, you're trapped into the social mind, and to the degree that you deviate from that, you usually cause trouble for yourself, which has led to a world where people are largely doing the same thing. Most people have very similar daily plans, very similar meal plans, very similar exercise plans, none at all, or very little. And so we also have a whole bunch of religious ideology out there that is very, very common, in that most people believe in a punishing God, or a God that's scarier, is watching you when you're touching your genitals and all that stuff. Well, the reality of it is, those of us that are, not playing those games, even if we're doing it in the privacy of our own home, usually have a lot less stress and disease and relationship challenges than those that continue to conform to the box, because human beings are the most highly creative creatures probably on the planet. So it is completely against our nature to conform to all these rules, regulations, and social patterns, and it makes us numb and can make us dumb, because we don't think outside the box. We just keep doing what we think we've got to do to get our paycheck and to be accepted by others and fit the social graces of those looking in on you from their various dogmas. So to become an individual, to be unique, to be different than everybody else is exactly what it takes to have a perspective that brings you outside of the box so you can think differently than the way the problems are created, and your very life can be a gift to other people. Most of the people that have made changes in the world were radically different people. Gandhi was a very unusual man. Yogananda, an unusual man. Most of your great guys, Richard Feynman, study the life of Richard Feynman for you left-brain materialists, and you'll find that he was wild with the women and wild with his thinking, and he was a partier, and he was a mover and a shaker, and he was not your average guy. I've studied the biography of at least 150 of the greatest thinkers in the world, and consistently they are unique individuals that are not in the box, that are outside the box, and without them being individuals, we would not have many of the benefits of their having been here that we do. So when we look at how the world works, we're all a part of the world. We're all a part of the universe. We're all a part of a collective whole. But like a wheel that is whole, it has spokes, and each one of those spokes, though you could say is an individual spoke, you can break an individual spoke, you can paint them, you can put them in there with different colors. Each of those individual spokes represents me and you and all the rest of the people in the world as individuals, but we all work, no matter who we are, to contribute to the collective whole of unity. The beauty of it is that the universe, or Great Spirit, if you will, expresses unity in individuality. All the things that make us human are common to all of us. We all need food, we all need water, we all need shelter, we all need warmth, we all need love, we all need to breathe. We all need to learn, we all need to grow, we all need relationships, we need each other, and we need nature. So we're all individuals, but we are largely expressing the qualities of the whole, and the whole needs individuals to express its individuality. Unity would have no functionality without individuality. So you can't have unity without individuality, or you have no context within which to experience unity. Individuality cannot occur without unity, because unity is the source, it's the wellspring of the energy, the creative intelligence that created the world and the universe that we exist in as individuals. So here we see that there is a marriage between unity and individuality, but if all of us become two the same, if all of us conform, then we run the risk of making the same mistakes over and over again and becoming extremely bored with our individuality, which leads to a lot of drug use, mostly anxiety, depression, and people thinking that their life's never going to be any different. But it can be, and it can be a lot more fun. So what can we do to express our individuality? Well, stop worrying about what everybody else thinks. Remember, opinions are like assholes, everyone's got one. And not all of them smell too good either. So first, be your own judge. If you love yourself and you like the way you look and feel, then those people's opinions are just like flies. You just swat them and let them fly away, or ignore them and do what you'd do if you were walking out in a field full of flies looking for flowers. You just look for the flowers and ignore the flies. So what are some of the things we can do? Well, we can practice art. I'm not a very good artist, but I sure have fun doing it. I don't really give a damn about much else. We can dance, baby. We can get into these things. We can do music. We can exercise our sexuality. Make some love. Get out of the missionary position once in a while. Buy the book, The Joy of Sex, if you need ideas. Or just get creative. Put a plastic sheet on your bed. Get out some ghee. Cover up and go for it, baby. Don't be afraid to play. Try writing some poetry. People are so stuck in that left brain. Remember, life does not occur in the words, it occurs between the words. Words are only information. Information always points to something other than itself. But our culture thinks just because they read it, they are it. Well, reading about exercise doesn't make you fit, and reading about cooking doesn't make you a better cook till you go practice. So we got to get out there. Explore your sexuality. Stop depending on other people to make you happy. Hey, if you don't learn how to love and nurture yourself, you're a fool to expect someone else to figure out how to do it. Life gets boring. Athletics. I have lived a life of full expression in athletics. There's a million ways to express yourself athletically and uniquely individually. Michael Jordan was an individual. Kobe Bryant is an individual, etc., etc. We all know exactly who they are because they're unique. Dennis Rodman was an individual, and everybody remembers who he is. I may not agree with the way he plays the sport, but he is an individual. Writing. All sorts of neat things can happen when you start writing your feelings and your thoughts and your dreams. Cooking is a great way to explore. I don't do a lot of cooking. I've showed some of my cooking on YouTube. Corn tortillas, popcorn. But I do have fun when I do it. The way you dress. Hey, look at me, man. This is my tuxedo. This is the top of the line for me. My philosophy is the man make the clothes. The clothes don't make the man. So don't be afraid to express your individuality with the way you dress. Hey, it's fun to be a little different. Gardening. I love going out in my garden. And there's all sorts of ways to garden. If you don't have the time to water plants, go get a bunch of rocks. Make beautiful figurines and stacks and patterns on the ground. People love it. It's a low maintenance landscape. You don't need to water it, weed it, or anything. You just go out and have fun. Leave it for your neighbors and your friends to look at. And when it falls down, do something new. Play. Play, 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 play is the key. We are suffering from a lack of play. Play is any activity where there's no specific outcome, no rules. That's where you get out of the conformity to the social construct, and through play, you learn to truly express your individuality. So that's my message for today. I hope you feel inspired to go out there and dress crazy, dance, express yourself, art, play, cook, dance, have fun. Make it playful. See you next time.